a El Salvador where we make a little track. We buck Josie wheel and him a leg pair shot. Then me ask it real, me get panic and me drop. Me get up on me back and then me brush it off flat. Then me run behind the back and then me start fire back. So when me lick the shot, the boy them repeat me back. Mr. Josie lick the shot and what barrel I lick it back.
Blessed the people. Welcome back. You see me? So peeps, today we'll be talking about a late great veteran dancehall entertainer that went by the name Major Worries. And sometimes we have to wonder why these entertainers give themselves names such as those, and I mean people. So we'll be delving a bit into his musical career, as also we'll be looking at the way in which he unfortunately lost his life at the hands of the Jamaican police. Major Worries was unalived in an alleged confrontation with the police. So people, Wayne Jones, better known by his stage name Major Worries, was born in the year 1966 in the gritty area of Spanish Town, Jamaica. You know, this is where he started his life. And you know, as a young man growing up in this area, he has always expressed his love for music. He always expressed his love for the sound system. As a young man growing up, whenever there was a sound system anywhere in the area, you know, little Wayne would always find himself there. You know what I mean? Some of the time, even disobeying his parents just to go and have a peek at what the selectors were doing in the early part of their juggling. And I mean, sometimes he used to set up his own little sound thing, you know what I mean? Have him little stick and a DJ side microphone. That so music was basically a part of this young man whilst he was growing up, and that's what led to him eventually joining King Jammy's sound system at a very, very young age as a DJ. But then, you know, other DJs like Josie Whale them and them man they used to do the same way. Admiral Bailey, he was basically from that era with them type of DJ there. And one of the things that is noticeable about those DJs from back then was that they were very, very aggressive people. Yeah man, because even Josie Whale them, you know what I mean, Admiral them, all of them have a little temperament about them. And back then it was just like that, you know what I mean? You have to kind of have a little bit of militancy about you, otherwise you can't get a microphone. Otherwise when you touch a microphone, people might throw a buckle upon you and disrespect you. So you have to command a certain kind of presence, you know what I mean? When you come at gate, you have to behave too bad for get in and so on and so forth. You see me as a people. But Major Worries started out as a DJ on King Jammy's sound system, very, very successful. It should also be noted that it was in the year 1985 that he officially began his musical journey on King Jammy's sound system. But one of the things that stood out about Major Worries, you know what I mean, young Wayne, as a young man growing up, was that he had a style of mimicry. He used to always know how to make fun of people, you know what I mean, mouth people, say some things will get under people's skin. If you understand me, I say, most Jamaicans do, you know what I mean? He used to love mouth people, you see? And he used to always have some things to say to make people laugh. He was a fun-loving person, you know what I mean? He was a true entertainer, and he actually had genuine love for what he was doing. His debut song was also produced by King Jammy, and this was a song titled Tapper. This song was basically a witty story about an alcoholic in search of liquor and was an assured dancehall hit. Yes people, this song get big, you know what I mean, whole heap of forward. This song really pick up traction. He get a lot of forward whenever him draw for that song here in a dancehall. And you know, this was an original, and as I said people, but then in those days, in order to get a break in the music industry, you had to join a sound system. It's not like now in the era of social media where myself as a vlogger can be here talking about anything on the whole world see it. But then you have to actually out there sing your song for people hear it, and you get a little airplay here and there. But then for your song to be played on the radio was actually a big thing, you know. It's not so much of a big thing now because people have other avenues of getting their music out there. But back then for those entertainers, it was way harder than it is now. And that's one of the main reasons why I always say any artist that find themselves being labeled as a one-hit wonder artist in this time and age is an artist with no talent, because once you can do something, it is very difficult for the industry players to blackball you, because you have your own platform, you have your own ways of putting your music out there, and you have other ways in which to direct traffic to your channel, you know what I mean, whether sponsorship or whatever ways. But there are ways to get it done. You get me as a people. So But then it was way more difficult than now. And peeps, if you think that was a hit song, the follow-up is even better. Yeah man, Major Words released another song titled Babylon Boops. You know, Babylon Boops was basically a disco mix in response to a series of tunes that surfaced in Jamaica relating to the sugar daddy phenomenon, you know what I mean? Major Words was basically a police officer in that situation, you know what I mean? A man beat up your woman and so on and so forth, and him and the police come to show you what the police can do. So with all these successes, you know what I mean, and the request for his presence growing, by the year 1987, Major Words was recognized as a top DJ on King Jammy's sound system, alongside Admiral Bailey. With Bailey and Chaka Demus in combination, Major Words recorded the writer's song titled Go Go, alongside No Touch It, Don't Know No, and Don't Move, and the DJ's Hot album release. Babylon Boops, he also freelanced with a number of top Jamaican producers in his initial releases. Producers such as King Jammy and also Iman Wright and Product of Jamaica. Major Words had also recorded with Hugh James and Jack Scorpio, but he did not see their official release as his career was cut short by the escalating violence that was plaguing Jamaica and is still plaguing Jamaica, you know what I mean? He lost his life as a result of a violent confrontation with a police officer. So in August in the year 1987, Major Words and him friend them in our area. One of his friends and a police officer got into a confrontation, and Major Words intervened in that confrontation between the policeman and his friend, and you know peeps, he ended up losing his life as a result of that. Because remember, you know, people, police are human beings also, and if you and a person in a one confrontation and them friend intervene in the confrontation, knowing that you are a police officer, then automatically it's going to be 2 against 1 now. Or it's going to be that 2 persons attack the police now. You know what I mean? And everybody have a right to defend them life. I am not sure of how that situation went down. You know what I mean? That basically happened the same year when I born. So back in the days when that happened, I was just a baby. I understand people, so I don't know exactly how it happened. But you know, in my opinion, you have to be careful in these times. You know what I mean? Be careful of the kind of friends where you hang out with. Because when you're a person of importance, you as the individual have to take the necessary steps to protect yourself at all times. Remember, you have your fans that look up to you, your family, them, and I mean, looking up to you to elevate them out of poverty, lead them to the promised land. You are Moses for your family, you know what I mean? And for your friends, you are the one where them are look to lead them to the promised land. So don't allow yourself to get caught up in a certain things, you know what I mean? And I said, I was not there. I don't know how it transpired, but he ended up losing his life by the hands of a policeman, you know what I mean? This did not sit well with the people in Kingston. It caused public outcry, you know what I mean? Whole heap of roadblock and so on and so forth. Persons were disgruntled, you know what I mean? Other players in the industry, you know what I mean? The music industry was very, very upset about the shooting also, you know what I mean? Beanie Man released songs, and a lot of other entertainers released songs around that time, you know what I mean? Neatly speaking about that incident. But my advice to all entertainers, you know what I mean, and to everyone and a whole, try to stay on the straight and narrow path. If you wish to be successful, if you wish to take your life and your family to another height, you know what I mean, you want to elevate the right way, then you have to learn how to avoid negativity, avoid negative people, because really and truly, you don't want nobody around you that is always getting themselves involved in confrontation or persons who are known violence producers. You have to be wise. But the musical journey of Major Words was a very, very impactful one. Even though he didn't get a chance to reach his full potential, we still have to acknowledge the work that he put in for the time that he did. You know what I mean? He inspired a lot of other entertainers such as even Buju Banton and so on and so forth. A lot of other entertainers were inspired by his kind of lyrics. You get me as a people. Those are my views as it relates to Major Words and his untimely passing. If there's anyone out there with more facts as it relates to the way that he came to his demise, you know, you can leave your views in the comment section, as also you can like, subscribe and share. Over at Wildlife Gully, we stand corrected if we have made an error, because as you know, this is the information that is out there. Peace.
Major one man we chuck up on the asthma. Down at El Salvador where we make a little track. We buck Josie wheel and him a leg pair shot. Then me ask it real, me get panic and me drop. Me get up on me back and then me brush it off. Then me run behind the back and then me start fire back. So when me lick the shot, the boy them repeat me back. Mr. Josie lick the shot and Admiral lick it back. Admiral lick the shot and Charlie Chaplin lick it back. Charlie Chaplin lick the shot and Chaka the must lick it back. Chaka the must lick the shot and John Wayne lick it back. It goes brag up that. No listen papa me so what the boom shot attack. Me roll up this and mic you know me no outfit chat. They wanna papa so know with them talking parade. Say all me know say that the boy a idiot. Come in they a front him a fit and round the back. The king is on the top not to the very last drop. Say black are the color for the African map. Me love Rastafari me nah look back. We see the idiot Jaja know we no stop. Me sit down in a me yard about 8 o'clock. Me no feel for wake up me say me feel for sleep back. Me drop in the bed, me say me drop on me back. Me get up on me back and then me brush it off flat. Then me walk through a